Thank you everybody for coming to share with me some ideas about the political participation of women in Sudan in the aftermath of this momentous revolution. My name is Suad Musa and I come from Darfur. I also work with international NGOs and I have been almost to more than 50% of the IDP camps. This is the flag of Sudan, and now there's the old flag of Sudan, and we are hoping that this flag also gives us some positive feelings about what is going on. Talking about the political participation of women in Sudan, it has two sides. One is about the political participation and the other is about women. And women in Sudan, we need to understand about who they are. Actually, when we say Sudan, we used to have this nice map of Sudan, but because of the differences between people, because Sudan is not a united country, it's not, we don't have a united society. So that difference and that problem led to the split of Sudan. And now this part of Sudan, still we have these problems. Even though now we have this revolution and we are hoping for really significant changes in the future of the Sudan to keep us united, but still there are problems. And these problems, when we talk about political participation, then we can see it very clear in the situation of women. So who are those women in Sudan? Now we have those women. Actually, we can divide women in Sudan into different sections and along different lines. But for the purpose of this presentation, I just use education and conflict. So when we come to the education, then we have those educated people, mainly in rural areas, and they are government employees, those who go and work in the private sector, are organized, and some work with international NGOs, UN agencies. Then we have the illiterate people. Those illiterate people, those people who stay in the rural areas, and this is what they do. That is how they look like, and that is how they do their work. Also, these are the people, and these are also rural people. These people, despite how the way that they do their things and the way they accomplish their roles, they are the main pillars of food security situation in Sudan, but they are completely left out. So when you look at these two categories, it's really different, as if it is not one society. Now, when we go to the rural areas, those who stay in the rural areas, then they work in the agriculture and animal husbandry, and then they help us maintaining the food security situation. They are producers. And those who are, they suffer poverty, or sometimes they rainfall shortage, and so they got into problems of how to sustain their life. They move to urban areas, and when they come to the urban areas, they become tea sellers or food sellers, and then they become subject to harassment of that defunct regime. And then some of them work like that, and you can also see how difficult and that kind of work that they do. The third category of women is the conflict area, those who live in the conflict zone and who become affected by the all these horrendous situations. So the Janjaweed and the government army come and burn their villages and then force them to go and to seek refuge wherever they can find a refuge, and then in the end they ended up as internally displaced or as refugees across borders. And
the multiple front their homes over the last 5 years.
so that was mainly in Darfur. When we go to the Nuba Mountains, then this is a situation of the children, and this is a situation of women. So that is also another kind of drudgery and another kind of violations, or worse situations that people suffer. So these are the three categories of women, and not despite
The
these
war is
differences
nothing
in the
new for
situations
Hazina
of women,
Suleiman. He walked for
in these
7
different
hours to
areas,
find
whether in
refuge
urban
at the
areas or
government
in rural
anti-now
areas or
bombed
in
her
the
village.
conflict
It was
zone. Okay, so all those women, no matter where they live and no matter what they do in Sudan, they all suffer different forms of oppression and violation of their rights. These forms of violation of their rights is about the, as it's, in the, it exemplifies them in the family and law personnel that women under the government policies and legislation, they are subordinated to men, especially the wives. And there is ethnic and racial discrimination in employment. Wherever you go to apply for any job, then you have to be asked about your tribe, about your geographical area, sometimes even about the people and your family, because there are certain jobs that are not allowed for everybody or for every woman to. And we know from that those who come from remote areas, they are always left behind and they are always restricted and have no access to many jobs. And the disapproval of women to be judges, and that is, has been a practice for more than 20 years. 20 years that the government does not allow women to be judges. And the public order law, and the public order law is the most notorious law that has affected women's situation and women's dignity. And women under this law are arrested. They could be, forced to do anything. They forced to wear hijab. Whenever they go with any man, they have to be interrogated and asked about the relationship and with the man. That maybe you can go with your husband or with your son or your nephew, and then they have to ask you what is the relationship between you and between this guy. And the most severe one is the rape, and that is, this picture is one of the pictures that is taken from Tabit, that is Tabit in Arabic, and we remember that in 2014 this Tabit has been, suffered and has been attacked by the Janjaweed, and there was mass rape committed or perpetrated against those women. It's not only women, but children as well. And these children of the rural areas, and here I'm just concentrating on the girls, and we can see those girls, instead of going to school, they are used as labor because their children, their moms or their parents need their help, and they suffer female genital mutilation, and they also underage marriage and female illiteracy and poor health services. Those my colleagues talk about this morning. So that is about children. And so why is this all happening in Sudan? Now we come here to the political participation, because all these forms of violation of rights have been committed under the political order of the regime and through the domestic politics. And this domestic politics means political participation. It's through the exercise of politics. And that's why the political participation is very important. So what is it? Before I come to explain it about the political participation of women, then we need to understand what does it mean political participation. Political participation means people take a part in the decision making of public issues, whatever it is social, it is health or education or whatever, then they have to be part of it. Anything about the social order also have to be part of it. And also it's not also just to be part of it, but also to be able to influence the decision to the best interest of the community you are talking about. So now, if we look back into the history of Sudanese political participation, it is not something new. Okay, thank you. So Sudanese women, since independence, they have been part and parcel of every aspect of politics, and they have been exercising politics. Different forms, really, at formal level and at informal level, they have been part of it. At formal level, the Sudanese women, they were in legislative committees, bodies, they were ministers, and they were in the parliament, and they have the right to vote since 1965, but that right has not turned up have not turned up for their needs to be addressed and to make any change in their lives. And when we come to the informal level, then also Sudanese women have their civil society organizations, solidarity groups, and everything. And they are tribal institutions where women have power and have they can exercise their agency. But why it's not effective? Why those women have not been able to make any positive change in the lives of women?